Our next speaker is a personal friend. Mark Lowry is going to share his personal fight and how to defeat dream killers in order to make the Neverland where your dreams can come true.
Age 5. Age 5, I had a dream. I dreamed to do the impossible. To do what no one has ever done. I dreamed to conquer all odds. I had a dream to become Peter Pan. I wanted to fly. I wanted to go to Neverland. I never wanted to grow up. But sadly, on Saturday, I turned 20 years old, so I guess I didn't ever achieve that dream. You know, when we're young, we all have dreams. We want to be a ballerina, or we want to be an astronaut, or a firefighter. I even had one friend who dreamed to be a mailbox. Like, I know. Dreams are meant to be funny. They're meant to be exciting. They're meant to be something that we can strive towards. But it's not so funny when your dream to open a business turns to bankruptcy. Or your dream to have a healthy marriage ends in an affair. But today I'm going to give you some advice and I'm going to give you some encouragement on how you can defeat dream killers and you can prevent your dreams from becoming a daily disaster. One of the biggest dream killers that most people fight is the fear of failure. This is so crucial because failure distracts you from your destiny. It distracts you from your destiny. Failure, like the fear of failure, destroys our ability to believe that we can achieve something. And what's crazy is Michael Jordan, probably the greatest basketball player of all time, and I am not that tall and I'm not that good at basketball. I'm kind of like an Irish leprechaun. But no one else can doubt that Michael Jordan was probably the greatest basketball player of all time. But he said, in my career, I've missed more than 9,000 shots. I've lost more than 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and I've missed. I've failed over and over again. And that is why I succeed. You see, just because you fail doesn't define you as a failure. Just because you miss a shot doesn't mean you're not the greatest basketball player in the world. But I can tell you, this fear of failure alone can destroy your self-belief and destroy your ability to actually achieve your dreams. At 7 years old, I had a true dream. I actually wanted to play professional soccer, and it was a dream that was on my heart. My family had some professional soccer players in it, and I was like, that's me, that's my dream, that is what I'm going to do. So I worked hard, I practiced hard, I got better, I put in time. I got up early at like 6 a.m. and I can barely make it to a 10 a.m. class now, so I was motivated. And I got far, and at 14 years old, I represented my country, Northern Ireland, for soccer for the first time. I was on my way to signing a professional contract in Liverpool, but then fear set in. That I wasn't good enough, I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't strong enough, that my team wasn't going to win, that I wasn't fast enough. And this fear started distracting me on a daily basis. And it started making me feel like, can I really achieve my dream? Do I even really want to achieve my dream? And fear can strip your identity, and it can strip who you are as a person and strip your ability to realize that you are good, that you're better than good, that you've got the ability to be great, that you can achieve anything, that if you place your mind to it, you can do it. The thing is, fear can distract you from your destiny, but it can only do it if you give up. If you don't give up, you will never fail. The next dream killer that I'm going to address is comparison, because comparison kills our confidence. Comparison kills our confidence. I experienced this at a young age because I actually had a lisp growing up, and it was a horrible lisp. And mixing an Irish accent and a lisp together is a lot to handle. I promise you, it is a lot to handle. But I used to compare myself to my classmates, to my friends, to my sister, that everyone had this beautiful Irish accent, and I was just the kid that couldn't speak a sentence together. And it made me say into myself, I didn't even talk growing up, which is crazy, you know? I don't shut up now, but I didn't have this confidence, and it was stripped from me the moment I decided that I was going to compare myself to others. But it was only when I was around 9 years old that my dad and mother decided to send me to an elocution school. And I went to elocution school with an elderly British lady, and she decided to teach me how to speak properly and decide how to fight my lisp and how to speak with integrity. And if I'm just being honest, she just used to beat me with a wooden ruler until I would say the thing right, you know? And it hurt, and I didn't want to be there. I did not want to be in that school. I did not want to be getting hit with a ruler every time I messed up. I did not. I wanted to take the ruler and hit her back with it. If you're watching, I'm sorry, but no. But this learning became my leverage. The learning that I had to go through to how to speak, it became my leverage. And I can proudly say now, from 17 years old to 20 years old, I've been able to speak across the world, from Ireland to America, and managed to leave my home in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and travel 5,000 miles away to come to school in Lakeland, Florida. Like, who would have thought Lakeland, Florida? But the learning that I had to go through was my leverage to propel me into my future. And I decided from that day, I'm not going to compare myself to who's right of me, who's left of me. I can't compare myself to anyone but myself and my own ability and what I'm doing to better myself. And if I'm trying, I'm better than I was yesterday. And my final dream killer I'm addressing tonight is that the people around us have the power to push us or prevent us from our purpose. The people we surround ourselves with have the power to push us or prevent us from our purpose. If you would show me your 5 friends, I could show you who you are. I could show you what you like. I could show you what you want to do with your life. I could show you who you want to be just by who you surround yourself with. And although mentors and family members can be great encouragement, they can also distract you and prevent you from ever reaching your purpose. At 15 years old, I got abused by my soccer coach. I don't ever know why, and he was the mentor in my life that was going to propel me to my destiny. My destiny was in his hands. And I was abused. I was told I wasn't good enough. I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't do it unless I paid him for one-on-one coaching, and then I could do it. And I lost everything. I lost my confidence in myself, my ability. I didn't want to play soccer. I gave up soccer. I gave away a professional contract at 16 years old because I didn't feel good enough. And this led me into a situation where I started surrounding myself with all the wrong people. One of my closest friends was my cousin. And although I loved him and he was a lot of fun, he was not the influence I needed in my life. And at 17 years old, I saw my cousin in a coffin from a drug overdose, having left behind a 6-month-old child. This spiraled me into depression, into anger, into frustration that I could never understand. And it led me into selling drugs, and it led me into a world that I would have never experienced. I thought I was going to be Peter Pan. I wanted to fly. I didn't want to make other people high. I wanted to fly. I was Peter Pan. How did you go from here to here? The people we surround ourselves with, they're either going to push us towards our purpose or they're going to pull us from our dreams. And I just want to finish with this, just in case you feel like you're in a season where you've failed and you say to me, Mark, I'm on the ground. I'm knocked out. My dreams are taken from me. What can I do? I want to get up. The 3 steps to getting up from failure is you got to get up, you got to stand up, and you got to move forward. You just got to get up, you got to stand up, and you got to move forward. If I'm going to be completely honest with you tonight, you got to get up, you got to stand up, and you got to move to God. You got to just get up, even if it hurts. You got to stand up. You got to tell yourself that you are good enough, that does not define you, and you got to get to God. Because although we have failed many times before, he has never failed us. He is consistent, he is good, and he is loving. And he's just waiting for you with open arms to say, come back to me. He never failed us. You can never feel him too much that you can't come back to him. Thank you so much.